Hi guys, Veggie Gamer back, and we're back to doing our top 16 Danganronpa 2 characters VEGGIEKNIGHTS. Last time I said I'm going to try and keep it short and keep it to one video. That didn't happen. I can never keep stuff short, VEGGIEKNIGHTS, especially when I'm describing characters that I really like. I gotta say again, I like all the characters, guys, but this is the second half of the list, which means this is my top 8 Danganronpa 16... What? Danganronpa 2 16 top list. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yes, we're going to be going over it. There are some controversies in here. I'm actually going to be adding in a couple of bits because I've listened to the audio already, and I do need to add in a couple of little bits here and there about certain characters. I will try and keep this short, but no promises. Let's get on to the number 9.
Danganronpa.
So another character who definitely suffers from the over-expectations aspect of me knowing that this character was very popular going into the game. It's the lovely Ibuki, guys. No, remember, guys, she isn't in my top half of the Danganronpa 16 characters, guys. So I do really enjoy her. From me to you two is legit possibly the funniest moment in Danganronpa 2. I don't know, there are some very funny, but it's a very funny game, guys. I'd say it's probably funnier than it's definitely funnier than the first one. I'll say that. Ibuki, she's awesome. She's completely insane. She talks in tangents, much like the pink girl in Ultra Despair Girls. I need to learn those characters' names at some point. Again, I mean, she was very useful in the Byakuya 2 trial, with her hearing and everything like that, so I can't say that she wasn't involved. I do think that having her insanity toned down just a little bit could have helped, but then again, it's also her best aspect, the fact that she's so insane and funny. One thing that and it seems unfair to knock her down on this, she was part of the game which I thought was a bit of a letdown. The whole virus thing, where people were suddenly changing personalities, and it could change someone to murder someone, it could change someone to open themselves up to and everything. I think that really let her character down, because we didn't, obviously with none of the characters we have a proper send-off, but that part of the game, and quite frankly the funhouse, I don't think was needed. I think that you could have just, the normal school life or the normal island life, and then bad things happen without having to give a chapter a gimmick, if you know what I mean. But that's not her fault, though. She is an awesome character. I was very sad when she died. Incredibly, guys, I mean, looking at this list, there is a character which I was sure would be number 16 that we have not got to. We're about to get to it now, guys, and quite frankly, they were back to back, and I was much more devastated when the next character, when we found the next character. So this is the first of the little interjection bits I'm going to put in, because I saw a lot of you guys' lists, and you made some very, very good points about a lot of the characters. Thank you so much for giving your list. By the way, guys, be sure to give your list if you haven't before in the description to this video about bullying. And I'm with you guys. I completely understand where you're all coming from. I got bullied as a kid as well. It isn't the bullying aspect of the following character that I am promoting. It is the fact, I try to word it as best I can. I feel like, to an extent, she doesn't actually want to be a bully. She actually wants to be everyone's friend, but it's the only way that she can express herself. And it's like a defense mechanism, I feel. That's just my opinion. Obviously, let me know your opinions in the comments. Like I was saying throughout most of the game, I thought that she would be my number 16, but now I'll try and explain exactly why she isn't.
Danganronpa.
I mean, this is still mind-boggling even now. It's Hayako, guys. I am amazed that she's so high up on my list. I think it was, I mean, quite frankly, guys, Chihiro was really high up on my list. On my list. But when playing the game, before what happened to her, I really didn't get why people liked her. It was a posthumous thing with Chihiro, and I guess to an extent it is with Hayako, even though we don't really learn anything more about her. I felt that was one of the hardest moments emotionally for me in Danganronpa 2, was finding Hayako, because I hate that, guys. I really hate. It's gonna sound very, dumb, but I don't like defenseless characters being hurt, quite frankly. And she was really defenseless. She was clearly desperate to probably be friends with everyone, but she didn't know how, and so was just rude to everyone. The only one who was able to reveal that was obviously Mahiro. But I do think that deep down she wanted to be friends with everyone. I mean, there was a great trial where she's the main. Yeah, it was the Mahiro trial where she was the main target, and she could have given pretty good evidence to the trial, but she wouldn't, because people didn't believe her at that point. Which, when you think about it, is so beautifully cute. VEGGIEKNIGHTS. She has really good evidence, but she doesn't want to give it because they don't believe her at that point. That's adorable. That's great writing, and I mean, that's the sort of writing which I do feel like a lot of the characters missed out on, and so that is why Hayako is so high up on my list. I cannot believe that. It's insanity to me.
Danganronpa.
Guys, we are getting to the nitty gritty now. What's the term? The alternative? No, whatever it is. The protagonist from the first game obviously was lower on my list. Hajime makes it pretty damn high on this list, guys. He's nearly in the top 5. I do think. I mean, he does have a very interesting story arc. It's obviously very back end heavy, and I don't mean like who's got a big bum. Oh, by Akuya. No, yeah, but he's heavy all over though, Veggie. He's got a big bum. I guess there's no big bums in Danganronpa, are there? Oh, no, Hifumi. Because he's not big all over. He's mainly bum, in fact. So Hifumi. Right, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let's get back to talking about Hajime. Right. His story arc is obviously very back-end heavy, which I mean, like, obviously at the end of the game, a lot of exposition gets explained, which obviously you had to do that, guys. You couldn't find out about Izuru in chapter 5 and then everyone just go back to their normal living lives and everything for a chapter. Great protagonist, not as dumb as Makoto. He definitely seemed to have an edge to him as well. Like, Makoto's constantly talking about, like, my friends and, hope, and we've got to stick together. Whereas Hajime, throughout, never really, I don't feel like he ever completely trusts anyone. Whereas Makoto, his gig was, I absolutely trust everyone. So that was very awesome. Obviously, the twist in him was very, very good. I did predict it just before it was revealed, I got to admit, because it had to be someone significant. It was either going to be Nagato, Hajime. I don't know who else it could have possibly been, quite frankly. So, yeah. Great protagonist. Not much else to say, because obviously you play through him. But, yeah. And we got to see a little bit of him in Ultra Despair Girls, which is exciting.
Danganronpa.
Top 5 time, VEGGIEKNIGHTS. And we're kicking it off with someone who's a lot of people's favourite character. A lot of people. In fact, it'll be interesting to see your lists. I think this character might actually be at the top of most of the people. Or had the most top spots, maybe. I think Ibuki as well, very possibly. And maybe Nikin as well to an extent. Well, either way, guys, we're at number 5, guys. And it's the lovely Chiaki. Now, again, I think most of the people on this list, they drastically changed position. I said it during the stream, guys, that when the thing came out about, obviously, we find out that she is basically, well, she's a program, and we get that explanation of her character, and so on. She greatly went up in my estimation at that point, guys. Throughout the game, I was getting frustrated in the same way I did with Kayako to an extent, where I personally could work something out, but Hajime's too busy, looking at a shiny thing to notice the thing which I've already noticed. Like the bloody beam during the Nagato trial, that was frustrating because I could so clearly see it, and for like around 20 minutes, and then instead of Hajime being able to point at it and say, hey, look at that, Chiaki points out instead. It's like, oh, okay, right. But she's the ultimate gamer, guys, which is obviously like a bit of a joke saying that she's very good at the game of Danganronpa 2. But yeah, then we find out much more about her, the fact that she's not actually in control of Monome, is she? But she's affiliated with her. It was obviously a very sad part of the game where we had to say goodbye to her. So that's where she places for me, guys. Like I say, earlier on in the game, she probably would have done, but she was a great character. I have to admit that.
Danganronpa.
I think this is where the real surprises are going to start popping up here, guys. So bear with me. I will try to explain in a concise, meaningful fashion. At number 4, quite appropriately, the owner of the 4 Dad Divas of Destruction, Gundam Tanaka Fiend. He's an amazing character, guys. Completely and utterly insane. But unlike Akane Akane did have, obviously, the story arc with Nekomaru and stuff. But I almost felt like it was being written in a sarcastic way, whereas Gundam's speech at the end of his trial is brilliant, guys. He's basically like saying, oh, right, so you're willing to just, like, starve to death. Okay, well, I have respect for life, and if you guys don't have respect for life, I'm going to be the one to survive. That it's not him saying, I want to survive. It's not him thinking, you know, I need to, like, get rid of these other people so I can survive. He's, like, saying, no, I respect life. I'm not going to die here. It's not like he's trying to save his own skin. He understands life and wants to preserve life. I guess that's a part of him being the ultimate breeder, guys. I really like that. That was a great twist on his character, guys. It would have been such a shame. It was just like, I killed Nekomaru to get out of here, and I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't a few schmucks. But for him to actually like say, nah, I don't agree with just sitting down and dying. That's awesome, guys. That was a great, inspiring speech at the end of it. I absolutely made me tear up, guys. It absolutely did. Even though his punishment is completely and utterly stupid, I was so sure that we were going to get the 4 Dark Davers of the Destruction getting involved in the 5th trial. I really did, but I guess they just into slow down. Anyway, Gundam Tanaka, amazing character. I did have high expectations for him going in because he looked so freaking cool, and he did not fail those expectations.
Danganronpa.
The controversies continue, VEGGIEKNIGHTS. The controversies continue. I think a lot of you guys would have thought this guy had it made for number 2 or 3. Oh no, sorry, what, number 1 or 2? It's Soda, guys. I really liked his character throughout the entire thing. He didn't have... His character was like, it was trying to have a serious twist to it, but the rest of the characters wouldn't allow it, obviously with Sonia and everyone else. I love his design. He's up there with Gundam with like being the coolest looking character from Danganronpa 2. Really did not expect him to survive. Quite frankly, I was waiting for him to be the Blackened, and that would have broken my heart, but it didn't happen, guys. He kept on going through. He was clearly the most freaked out about being there. He was actually quite similar to Captain Frizz. I guess it's kind of ironic that he would survive. Great character. Got involved a lot in the trials and so on. Had some sort of a story arc, but not really. It was like a joke one. But an awesome character who, whenever I was interacting with him, I wasn't like, let's get to the next scene, let's get to the next scene. I enjoyed every single scene with Soda. So, unbelievably, guys, he's come 3rd. The next one is the big shock, and this is going to take a long time to explain, guys. It really is.
Danganronpa.
Now, I do think this character is going to be high on a lot of people's lists. She might even be at the top of a couple of people's lists, but I think that you guys would be surprised that she was actually above Soda. It's my hero, guys. I really liked her design. I really liked her character. Obviously, she is a bit of a tsundere. I'm saying that wrong, but to an extent, where she likes saying, "Hey, man up" and all that sort of thing, which is something that Akane did as well. I don't like that sort of thing in RL VEGGIEKNIGHTS, but I think that in her character, it actually was okay, because I think it was like, obviously she was in a very stressful situation as much as the rest of them. I think the reason why she is so high up in this is because she is probably the closest. Let's have a quick look at the full list. Nope, not even the closest. She is definitely the most grounded character in the entire game by a square mile, Veggie. She really is. And I was kind of craving that. You know, after speaking with Ibuki and Mikan and getting completely baffled about what the hell they're on about, I needed that level-headedness. I also like the fact that she is freaking out in the first trial, but my hero, I should say. She's freaking out in the first trial, but she is able to compose herself to be able to like draw out the diagram and like get the pictures so everyone could work out where everyone was and so on. I was gutted, guys. I don't know if you could tell, guys, but when we saw Hayako running down the street, I immediately knew what happened. And I didn't want it to be true. And then we walk in there and she was laying there. That one really hurt me, guys. I mean, quite frankly, people are moving up and down positions on how I feel when I find them. When we found Ibuki, I was like, oh, Ibuki's dead, damn it. But when we found Hayako, that freaking was hard. That really hurt, guys. But even more than Hayako, my hero, I really enjoyed the character. Ironically, just before it all happened, I wanted to hang out with her and she wasn't available. And I think that, along with Soda, I think that I would have completed her story, her social link, I guess you'd refer to them as. But yeah, it was not to be, right? So maybe at some point I can go back from all the games and like finish off everyone's social links and so on. But my hero, I know it's a big shot, guys, and it's not just because she's a grounded character. I actually really liked her character. Quite frankly, if I was to put anyone from Danganronpa 2 into Danganronpa 1, I would say my hero, guys, because I feel like she seems like the most Danganronpa 1 character out of everyone. Huh. What is it? Look outside. What's outside?
Isn't that Hyoko?
Wendy's dead. I said that I wanted to hang out with her as well. You know what? Let me know if you disagree with that. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that. But there you go, VEGGIEKNIGHTS. I think we all knew who my number one was going to be. Well, actually, maybe not. A lot of you would have thought it was Soda. But let's move on to our number one, the lovely lady herself.
Danganronpa.
And the number one spot for Danganronpa 2 Top 16 list, VEGGIEKNIGHTS. The best girl, in my opinion, from Danganronpa so far, quite frankly, is Pico, which I'm still pretty sure I'm pronouncing wrong. It's either Peko or Pico. I think I was pronouncing it Peko, and everyone's saying it's Pico. Either way, I absolutely adore this character. Very nice. Her design is freaking awesome. I'll put that out there straight away. I think she looks very cool. I loved her personality, this sort of like very stoic, rational character. I didn't appreciate what happened during the first trial, but who cares about that? We all know what happened there. What she stands for, I mean, she's not the brightest girl, VEGGIEKNIGHTS. I think even she knew that her plan to try and be the weapon so that Fuyuhiko could survive wasn't going to really, it was unlikely to work, but that's such a beautiful thing. Throughout her trial, I was really hoping that there was going to be something more to it, or that Fuyuhiko would actually be seen as the one. Oh no, because that would mean that they'd all die. I was hoping that Fuyuhiko was going to die, basically, in her place. I hated the fact that Fuyuhiko bloody said that he wanted to be with her just before she died, completely breaking her resolve. That was upsetting, guys. That I really like Pico. I didn't expect her to survive. I guess it was always going to be likely that she would be a blackened. She's got to be the highest blackened character. Oh no, of course she is. She's the #1 spot. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I get it. Weirdly enough, I don't know how much else to say, but I would have loved to have more of her and Mahiro in the game. But yeah, she was awesome, guys. I'd love, you know what? As we had a Toko spin-off, obviously it would have to be set before the events of Danganronpa 2, but I would be all up for a freaking stealth game playing as Pico. That would be awesome. Pico now it is, apparently. Pico. Yeah, and with Hiko being there, I'd be all over that, guys. In fact, it could be the both of them, like Ultra Despair Girl. It's not going to happen, but I would absolutely love that. Pico is my favourite girl, but unfortunately I can't really say more about it. She just is. She's my favourite character from Danganronpa 2. Guys, let me know your list in the description. I can't wait to see who makes your top list, who your least favourite characters is, your reasonings, and so on and so forth. Make your comments as big or small as you prefer, VEGGIEKNIGHTS. I don't mind at all, but yes, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please like, subscribe. Try again. Please like, please try. Please like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. I've been a Veggie Gamer. I've been saying the same outro for over 5 years, and I still can't say it properly. And I'll see you next time.